Hmm. Hello, my lovely audience. Welcome to another video. So then, don't really have that much to say. So let's just get into the what if. Now, in this what if, give me a moment. In this what if, Deku would be born into a family obsessed, absolutely obsessed, with trying to make the perfect snake. Well, snake human. And well, Izuku would match a lot of the criteria, except for one. He isn't a pure snake. Now, his quirk is Hydra. And, well, what this quirk does is as such. Any body part of his that gets mangled or destroyed, you will gain an extra amount. Like, the body part will double. Except, well, yeah, it can double. But Deku can also condense it down into one part. And, well, he would be born with two heads, and, well, every time he gets an injury on his head, he would get a new one. Nah, he would be born with the full set of 9 heads. Technically 8, technically 8 snake heads and 1 human head, making a grand total of 9 heads. Said heads would be sprouting from his back, and, well, yeah, his quirk would make it so that he's highly venomous, and, well, he has acid for blood, like this, like the historically, like the mythologically accurate hydra. Anyway, yes. So, once Deku gets his quirk, he's almost immediately sold off to some random person for a quirk marriage. Now, this individual would happen to be Endeavor. Yep. Shoto's not being cooperative. So, quirk marriage it is. Also, in this what if, Shoto would be female. So I guess Shoka. Or Shota. I'll go with Shota. Because Shoka sounds weird, in my opinion. Tell me whichever one's probably right. But yes. He would be bought by Endeavor to be a part of a quirk marriage. Now then, let's get into their first meeting. Endeavor would walk in to, well, the Todoroki household. This is about when they're 6. Well, Todoroki, Shoka is 6. And, all her siblings, so on and so forth. Darby ran away, blah blah blah. But yes, he would walk in, clasping his hands together before saying, "Alright, so then, certain members of the family have not exactly been cooperative." He would glare at Shoka. Yeah, I'm calling her Shoka. It's just compulsive. He would look at Shoka whilst saying that, before he would say, "So then, I have scouted in an individual with a particularly good quirk that could possibly be useful. Deku's quirk is basically extreme regeneration. Oh, I forgot to fully explain this last bit. So that, by the end of the what if he is... Give me a moment. So that by the end of the what if he isn't just a mass of arms and legs, he is able to, forcefully merge the limbs together, the parts together to make them work at double the efficiency. So, yeah. Just putting 2 arms together to make it twice, a doubly as good arm. That's basically how the Quirk works. So, let's continue. Endeavor would say, now, this quirk is particularly useful because, well, it comes with with a healing factor and acidic blood, plus high amounts of toxins which could possibly merge with the fire to create chemical warfare. So then, Shoka, I have gotten your new husband. Deku would just his head would pop out from behind Endeavor. He would wave shyly. And yes, he does have the snake body. He is one of those hydras. Not like a hydra with the legs. He's more so the hydra with the snake body. More mythologically accurate, in my opinion. Shoka, in her opinion, would think he's pretty cute. Fuyumi would sigh extremely dramatically, thinking to herself, great, this is gonna be a generational thing. So then, time skip. That night, Shoka's in her room, alone, upset with the fact that she is now being forced to marry someone she doesn't even know. And also, well, just being emo. Just listening to crawling. And just listening to Pain by 3 Days Grace. Actually, a very nice song. I do recommend. Pain without love. Pain can't get enough. So she's just listening to that whilst looking out the window, looking at her reflection, until she would hear a knock at the door, her putting off the music and saying, come in. And it would be Izuku. She would sigh before asking, what do you want? Izuku would just look at her before showing a sad expression, going up closer to her and hugging her. Which is extremely weird to, well, Shoka. In this scenario, she has been growing up in a damn near lovingless household, so this is new. Like something she has not experienced since she was but a wee child. Deku would pat the back of her head and, well, stroke her hair before saying, like the first time he's spoken to her that day, look, I know you don't want to marry me, but I don't want to be here either. So, can we try and make it work at the least? Don't want to end up like, well, oh, the other people out there in the world who just have, lovingless, sad, depressing marriages. I don't want that for the two of us, so can we try and make it work? You'd say with a smile, well, a bit of a forced smile on his face, with two large fangs being prevalent in his mouth. Shoka would look to the side, blushing at the random show of affection before saying, yeah, fine. Deku would cheer happily, saying, yay! As he would quickly back up and then pounce on Shoka, giving her a bear hug on the bed and just cuddling up next to her. Yeah. Anyway, time skip. A few years. it has become a consistent thing where Izuku has come to Shoka's room, or Shoka has come to Izuku's room, so that the two of them can cuddle at night, because Shoka honestly enjoyed being held like that the first time, and she could not get enough of it. You know, she just likes being hugged, which is honestly very sweet in my opinion. So, time skip. Middle school. Deku would, of course, be picked on for his odd appearance and odd choice of clothing, going for a bit of a traditional Japanese vibe with about 8 snake heads behind him, just sticking out of his back. So, naturally, people would pick on the strange kid, but Shoka would end up standing up for him, even at some points standing up to Bakugo. Yes, they go to the same middle school. Anyway, yeah. So, Izuku and Shoka would be entering a restaurant. Everything would be going fine. The two of them are just out on a bit of a date. Yeah. Deku finally walked up the courage to ask Shota out on a proper date. And everything's going fine. Until this woman with glasses and rainbow-colored hair, not natural, like dyed hair, and the classic Karen haircut would come storming up to their table before saying, "What are you doing here?" Shoka and Deku would look at each other before Deku would speak up, saying, yeah, I'm just, hello, ma'am, me and my, speak up, the woman would say, grabbing Deku's ear and pulling on it. This would kind of piss off Shoka a bit, for, Deku would manage to stutter out that he's taking Shoka out over here, that he's taking Shoka on a date, the girl next to him. The woman would, push up her glasses before saying, "Really? A freak of nature like you with a giant snake tail and 9 snake heads, busy asking out a quite beautiful, colorful haired woman on a date? And her saying yes? I think not, sir. This is obviously something that you are threatening her into," and, well, Shoko would begin to tune out what the woman's saying. Well, not tune out, more so get pissed. Those moments where you just tune out what a person's saying, you're not focusing on it, but the sound of their voice is still pissing you the fuck off? And the real trigger would be when the woman would outright slap Izuku in front of Shoka. Shoka, having had enough of this bullshit, would get up and look at the woman dead in the eyes before saying, "Don't you ever touch Izuku like that again. Yes, I did say yes to him taking me out, and yes, we were having a lovely time until you and your fake-ass hair, and rainbow, sunglasses decided to spoil the party. Now then, how do you want me to deal with you? Do you want me to burn you, or do you want me to freeze you? Because before Shoka could continue, she would feel Izuku's hand on her shoulder, as he would say with a kind smile, "Don't worry, we can just go out some other time. No need to make a scene." This would piss off Shoka even more, because, Shoko would begin gesturing at Izuku, being like, "Can you see how pure this boy is? Can you see it?" The woman would get pissed off and storm off, saying that she's going to talk to the manager. Izuku would kind of blush at, well, what Shoko did before saying, "You didn't really have to stand up for me like that." Shoko would put her hands on Izuku's shoulders before saying, "Look, you're the one who wanted to make the whole arranged Quirk, the whole Quirk marriage thing work out, so yeah, I'm putting some effort into that." Deku would blush at, would blush at this before the woman would come back storming angrily with a man in glasses. Up, dropped it. Dropped a pair of glasses. She would come storming with a man and, with glasses. Classic manager vibes coming off the man. As the manager would say, "Are these the two? Is that the boy that apparently assaulted you and is taking a woman hostage?" "Yes, now get rid of him!" Why don't we check the cameras?" No, you don't have to check the cameras." Shota would just get up, walk behind the woman, grab her shoulder, would grab it, and like she's a slasher villain, like full-on Jason Voorhees vibes. As Shota would say with a smile that just screams, "I'm going to rip out your tongue." She would say, "I think we should check the cameras." Anyway, the woman would get kicked out of the restaurant after that, and Izuku and Shota would have a lovely time. Anyway, yes. Give me a moment. Anyway, yes. Now, I just remembered something. We haven't exactly gone over a way you can kill Izuku yet. So, I'm gonna go over that now. Now, think of Izuku like a flatworm. You can cut it up into a bunch of different pieces, and you'll end up with a bunch of different flatworms. But let's say you incinerate the entire flatworm. Just gone. No more flatworm. Well, in reality, the only real method to kill a flatworm is radiation, but still. Incinerate the entire flatworm, and it's theoretically gone. Also, if you just keep cutting it up with no breaks and no time for the flatworm to eat, it will eventually just run out of nutrients and just won't be able to regenerate anymore. It won't have enough energy to. So, yes, you can either overwhelm his healing factor or just completely destroy him in one big burst. Also, if you were to, destroy a large number of his vital organs repeatedly, once again, that could kill him. Like, for example, destroying his heart. When a new one grew back, destroy that one. Just continue doing that. Well, before the new heart grows in, destroy it whilst it's growing in. Eventually, he will die due to lack of blood circulation. So, yes, if you continuously destroy a very important part of his body, entirely incinerate him, or just overwhelm his healing factor, you can kill him. Anyway, yes. Now let us continue. Izuku and Shoko would end up trying out for UA. Well, Deku doesn't want to be a part away from Shoka, and Shoka doesn't want to be away from Deku. They've gotten really close. So, yeah. The two of them would do pretty well on the written exam, and they would do pretty well on the physical exam. Shota being willing to actually use her flames in this universe because, well, Izuku. He basically gave her the whole spiel about it being her quirk and not her father's quirk early in this what if. So, yeah. Anyway, oh yes. Why do I keep on forgetting to properly explain the quirk? Oh my goodness. The final piece of information, I promise this time. Okay, final piece of information regarding the quirk this time, okay? Okay. Basically, his quirk has aspects of a transformation type quirk, as you could say. It's mostly mutation, but it has the subcategory of transformation. He's essentially able to grow in size and sprout scales along his body, thus resulting in him being able to, well, look like a proper hydra. Just with arms. No, the arms just kinda shrink away. But yeah, he can actively grow scales on his body and increase his size, resulting in him looking like a hydra. You know what? Fuck it, he does have arms. Like when he's full hydrad out, he does have arms. But yeah, that's it. That's the last piece of information of the quirk. So, yes. Shota and Izuku would get into a Class 1A together, and well, they would sit together. They would go in the school together like two lovebirds. Like, as soon as the two of them enter the class, holding hands, Mina's shipping senses just go off. She just instinctively looks at them and thinks, oh, there's gonna be tea tonight. Like, the shipping senses go off. It, like her, it's like a radar on a submarine, just ping! Instinctively. Those two are dating. Kirishima would look at Mina before saying, you know, Mina babe, I'm pretty sure at some point, you know how, like, I, what does Kirishima refer to, like, women as? I can't remember. You know, like how Mina refers to men like Mito babe, Kiri babe, and Kirishima refers to men like Kiri bro. Does he say Mina bro? I'm gonna go with that until I am corrected. You know, Mina. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with Mina. Just flat Mina. You know, Mina, I, I'm pretty sure you have, like, a second quirk. Just how? You guessed that the principal and one of the teachers at our old school were in a relationship. You guessed that the garbage man and the the sidewalk, person, like the street cop, the person who does traffic. Oh my goodness, I'm drawing so many blanks here. Like parking duty. A cop on parking duty, like a random cop on parking duty, were married. Turns out they were actually married. Like, how do you do it? Mina would just shrug before saying, just instinctive. Anyway, yes. Midoriya would get to his seat, kind of moving his table closer to Shoka, Shoka moving her table closer to his. As Mina's shipping sense would just go out of control. Anyway, yes, let us continue. Aizawa would walk in, look at the class, in anarchy, like, even more so in anarchy. Like, the only quiet people is Shoka and Izuku. Mainly because the two of them are, like, right next to each other, and Shoka and Izuku are kind of just leaning on each other, taking a nap together. Aizawa would walk in his sleeping bag, look at them, and just back out. He would just back out, like, fuck this shit, I'm out. Anyway, yeah. A couple minutes later, they would do the physical exam. Deku would get average in everything. Like, okay, he would outdo Hagakure and Mina and Momo in... Oh my goodness. And Mayonetta, when I said Mina, I meant Mayonetta. Like Mayonetta and Ida and Sero in the ball throw. He would outdo Hagakure and Ojiro in the running exam. He would fail miserably at the side-to-side jumps exam because of the whole snake body thing. I don't think snakes can jump. And, well, yes, Shoka would get what she gets in canon, Deku would get slightly lower, in my opinion. Anyway, yeah. I hope you enjoyed, I know I did. Yeah, it's getting late, so goodbye, my lovely, lovely audience. I hope you enjoyed, I hope to see you next time, and, bye-bye. This was a lot of fun to do, and mainly because I find... Yeah.